An out-of-state wholesaler just lost a deal to me in Oklahoma, and it wasn't because of price and it wasn't because of negotiation. He actually signed first, and we still got the deal. Why? Because his contract was illegal and unenforceable under Oklahoma's new wholesaling law, and ours was compliant. So listen up. If you're wholesaling in a regulated state in 2026 and you're not following the law, this can happen to you, or even worse. Today I'm going to show you exactly what happened, what he did wrong, and why compliance matters more than ever, and how you can make sure that this doesn't happen to you. I'll even show you how to get my nationwide regulation compliant wholesale contracts for free. All that and more coming up. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Jerry Norton. I track wholesaling regulation across the country, and as of this recording, there are 20 states with some form of wholesale regulation and several other states with bills moving through legislation. You can download the latest version of my free state-by-state regulation report at wholesalerregulations.com. Now, the case study that I'm going to share on this video is in Oklahoma, and that matters because Oklahoma's wholesaling rules under SB 1075 went into effect November 1st, 2025. Under SB 1075, a wholesaler has to provide specific written disclosures before the contract is signed, give the homeowner 2 business days right to cancel, include a required cancellation form, and wholesalers are prohibited from clouding title. And here's the key. If the required disclosures aren't included, the contract is invalid and unenforceable by the wholesaler, and the homeowner is entitled to the earnest money. Now, with this in mind, here's what happened. On January 6, 2026, a virtual wholesaler from Florida signs a contract with a seller in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but he didn't follow the required disclosures or the right paperwork, meaning from day one, his contract was already legally defective under Oklahoma's wholesaling statute. Then he didn't open escrow and he didn't deposit earnest money. To make matters worse, he didn't maintain clear communication with the seller. So about 30 days later, the seller is frustrated, loses confidence that he's going to perform, and does what most sellers do in that situation. She started looking for a new buyer. Now that's when she called us. Now we're local in Tulsa, so my business partner, Mark Gabriel, met at the house. He sat down with her at the kitchen table. He listened to her frustrations. He answered her questions. Then he showed her our long history of performance and reassured her that we could solve her problem and close fast. Then we did what professionals do, especially in a regulated state. We executed a fully compliant contract with all the required disclosures. We opened escrow immediately. We deposited earnest money right away, and we scheduled closing for a few weeks later, just like we promised. And we were ready to close. So on Friday the 13th, the seller came in and signed all the closing docs. We assigned the deal, and our end buyer was scheduled the following Monday to come in and sign. Then my phone rings. The Florida wholesaler resurfaced and apparently tried to open escrow at a different title company. And once he found out that we already held the title abstract and were about to close, he was furious. His argument was that he signed first and he demanded that we step aside and let him have the deal. So here's what I told him. If this were apples to apples, and if he had used a compliant contract, open escrow, deposited earnest money, and the seller still wanted to work with him, I would gladly step aside. But it wasn't apples to apples. His contract was defective from day one, and even if we did step aside, one, the title company was not willing to close the transaction with a wholesaler contract that didn't comply with the regulatory statute. And two, it didn't matter anyways because the seller refused to close with him. She even exercised her right under the law and sent the title company an official cancellation notice. So no, I didn't steal his deal. There was nothing to steal. Now, there are 2 lessons that I really want to drive home. First of all, regardless of paperwork or regulation, there is a right process to wholesale real estate, which the Florida wholesaler did not follow. After contracting with the seller, he did not open escrow, he did not deposit earnest money, he did not perform promptly, and most importantly, he completely mismanaged the seller. That's just bad business, and that's the number one reason why sellers look for new buyers. It's not the backdoor wholesaler, despite what you may think. It's because they lose trust in the non-performing wholesaler and they go look for a new buyer. Now, the second lesson to learn here is when the Florida wholesaler found out he lost the deal, he took 0 responsibility. He was focused on one thing: I signed first. What he refused to accept is in a regulated state, compliance is what matters most, because when your paperwork is defective, you have 0 leverage and maximum exposure. Just so you know, Oklahoma treats wholesaling violations as a consumer protection issue, and the Consumer Protection Act can involve civil liability, attorney fees, and in certain cases, civil penalties up to $10,000 per violation, with the Attorney General or the District Attorney able to pursue recovery. And when wholesalers try to force a deal by clouding title, Oklahoma's wholesaling statute explicitly prohibits placing any encumbrance that would cloud title. My point is, non-compliant wholesaling can escalate from losing a deal to a serious legal mess. That is exactly why I talk so much about the importance of how to ethically, morally, and legally wholesale, and this is only going to become increasingly more important as regulation continues to roll out. That's also why I built my nationwide regulation-compliant contracts. Now, if you want the exact paperwork we use, the written disclosures, the compliance structure, and the state-by-state language, I'm giving my 2026 wholesale contracts away for free. Just go to wholesalecontracts.com to get the free download. Now, these contracts are built to withstand scrutiny. My AB contract with the seller has 30 clauses. The other day, someone said to me, "Your contract is too long. I need a simple 2-page contract." I said to him, "My contract not only protects you, but also the seller and leaves no rock unturned. But go ahead and use whatever crappy contract you want." But I think that's a bad move. In 2026, compliant isn't optional, it's required if you want to keep your deals and protect yourself. Now, if you wholesale in Oklahoma, here's your baseline. 1, use compliant contracts with required written disclosures. 2, provide 2 business day cancellation right and include the cancellation form. 3, open escrow immediately and handle earnest money correctly. 4, do not cloud title. And 5, communicate clearly and perform like a professional. And if you wholesale anywhere else, know your state's rules. Download my free regulation report at wholesalerregulations.com. Now, a message to this Florida wholesaler. I don't assume bad intent, but intent doesn't override statute. These are real sellers, real contracts, and real consequences. The next deal you lose might not just cost you your profit, it could cost you everything. So watch this next video to learn how I stole a deal from a wholesaler in Vidor, Texas. And I'll see you on the next video.